I am originally a trained commercial photographer, and I transitioned from commercial photography into the photo etching, photogravure process a few years ago, and only working here in this studio now, running the studio as an access studio for artists to come and work here, as well as doing my own artwork. Probably about 20 years ago, I decided to try out this process that fascinated me, primarily because I really enjoyed looking at prints, etchings, and I thought that I would like to combine my photography with a printmaking process, and specifically an etching process. And 20 years ago here in Melbourne, there wasn't that much information. There was basically no one working with that I could access. And we're talking well, the internet was around, but it certainly wasn't as prolific as it is now, and it wasn't easy to get information. So I started to explore the etching on zinc plates, copper plates, all sorts of traditional etching processes. And I found this studio up here in St Andrews, very close to where I live. And I came up here and I met the master printer who worked here. His name was Doug Hales, and he taught me some basic etching techniques using zinc plates. And gradually I wanted to introduce photography with the traditional etching process, but I had to learn traditional etching first. So over time I just started to experiment myself, and would transfer photos onto zinc plates and etch them with acid. Back then it was using nitric acid, which isn't used anymore because that's a very toxic way of working, and was getting sort of reasonable results. But my background is in darkroom photography. I grew up in darkrooms. My father was a photographer, so I was looking for a process that was able to capture the sort of detail and tonal range that I could get with darkroom printing, silver gelatin, beautiful darkroom printing. I then found somebody in Adelaide, her name was Diane Longley, who was working with photopolymer plates. And photopolymer plates are plates that are used in the offset printing industry, commercial printing plates. And she was using these plates to transfer drawn images and expose them. And I was really astounded at the quality that she could get. So I thought, well, maybe I can do the same with photography. So with a bit of experimentation, well actually a lot of experimentation, I was able to nut out how to use these plates to really get a rich result from a photographic point of view to the quality that I'm still using today. And I've got here quite a few examples of photo etchings using these photopolymer industrial printing plates, which are still available, a little bit harder to access now materials than it used to be. But over the years I've tried quite a few different types of plates, different ways of working, and I've adapted with the times. You know, as digital became a lot easier to use, I guess, and became a much more important part of my own workflow with digital cameras and so forth. I have sort of developed this process and enhanced it using digital techniques. So now my process really hybridizes the traditional way of making an etching with the digital technologies, and I can explain a little bit more in detail about that as I take you through the technique.